We forgot to tell you guys that after we podcasted last Monday, we had a heck of an evening. Heck of an evening with the puppos, with the dogs.
Oh, okay. So what happened was, I'm not going to say names.
More animal stories.
I'm not going to say names. I will not implicate it because it was an accident.
Mm-hmm.
It was an accident. So our friend of ours' husband came to do us a favor to clean out, to take these cabinets. We have these cabinets that were built into the house that we didn't want, so we wanted to get rid of them. He wanted the cabinets, so he came with his truck. And so we put the cabinets in our backyard, and he opened. We have one gate in our backyard that opens to the street, okay? And he pries open the back gate with
He props it open.
with a little stool to carry, and then he put it in his truck, and then he drove off without closing the back gate. So the back gate's completely open. And so, what I do is that back gate, there's an alleyway.
Don't describe the house too much.
I'm not going to, but there's an alleyway that leads to this back gate. And I like to throw balls with the dogs.
It's like a giant dog run.
It's a dog run.
Yeah.
And I throw the ball, they run, it hits the back gate, bounces off of it, and so they don't escape. They bring the ball back, and it's good exercise for the dogs. And so I go, let's go, come on, dog. And so we have Gobi and Julio. Let's go, boy and girl. And I bring the dog, and as I throw the ball, and I realize after I throw it, the gates completely open. So I go, fuck. And I just see these two dogs run out into the street.
Wow.
Now, Gobi is one way. Gobi is our daughter dog.
She's a good dog.
She's a good dog.
Easy to retrieve back. Good recall.
Good recall. It's, is good with other human beings. And then we also have a psychopath.
Julio.
Dog.
We have an absolute homicidal. Like, if it was a human, it would be
In a straitjacket.
Kevin Spacey in the movie Seven.
Jeez.
You know what I mean?
That's Julio.
That's Julio. Julio.
Only loves Juliana.
The only person he loves is Julian. I don't know why, but and Julio at nights doesn't sleep with us. All the animals want to sleep with Mama and Papa, but Julio refuses to sleep and wants to sleep with Juliana because when Juliana visited us years ago,
She raised him.
she raised Julio as a puppy. So Julio just sees Juliana as a mother, I guess, which is it's heartfelt. But so the dogs run out into this fucking street, right? And oh my God, chaos ensues.
Chaos. Bobby nearly got
What?
tased.
Bobby got tased?
So Julio goes up to a woman, doesn't bite her, but she's wearing a blouse.
No,
No, a
skirt.
scarf. No, it was a scarf.
Yeah.
She had like a big scarf, and she's pulling her scarf off her fucking body, and she's screaming, "Ay! Like, Julio. And then Julio runs up the street, right, and goes up to this gigantic dog. I don't know what kind of dog it is, but and starts biting its legs. And
What?
the owner of the dog pulls out a taser. A human taser, not a dog taser, and starts trying to zap Julio. And I'm running around this guy,
What are you
avoiding
doing?
the zap, right? And trying to fucking get Julio. I grab him. He bites me here,
Julio,
right?
yeah.
as hard as he can, and I grab him by the neck, and I'm holding him. And also, dude, I'm fat, right?
And Bobby is in his underwear with no shoes,
no
running
shoes.
down
Yeah,
the
underwear.
hills.
Yeah. Underwear, no shoes. I look like a madman.
Yeah.
Right? And I grab him, and literally, dude, I get him in the house, and it was almost as if, years ago I saw a horrific car accident, and I couldn't shake it. It was so horrific. Somebody died in this car accident that I saw, and it felt like
Really?
Oh yeah, it was terrible. Can I tell you the story? This is really dark.
Yeah.
I was at I want to say her name, but I was at my friend's house, and she's a groundlings.
Oh, yes, you did tell this story. I know the story, but tell it again.
So she's a groundlings actress. She's very talented, and she used to date my friend Peter, and she's a friend of mine. And I was at her house at like midnight, 12:30 at night, and she lived in Silver Lake, on a hill, and all of a sudden we hear a car crash, and we look down, we can see it, and a car had zipped around a corner and hit a brick wall dead on. I think they were dry. I don't know what. But there were 3 people in this car. The car was flipped upside down, and by looking at it, you're just like, whoever was in that car is not alive.
Yeah.
But what the horrifying thing is I guess a girl in that car, right? Her sister was following them in another car.
Oh, so she watched it.
So she pulled over and she's screaming at her sister, you know, Karen! Karen! And then she goes, she's dead! And all we could do is just stand. We called the cops, obviously. We called 911. And we got the cops there. But I remember staying there till like 5 in the morning. You know what I mean? Just in absolute shock. I mean, obviously, the Julio incident is not as...
That's not the same, babe.
No, I'm talking about feeling.
Oh, yeah, feeling.
Yeah, in terms of feeling.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
fight
The
or
same
flight.
kind of fight or flight kind
Yeah.
of feeling of like, shock. I don't know.
No, I know what you mean. Like,
Yeah.
where it takes you like a couple hours to decompress, where you're still kind of like...
No, it stays with you for days, right? It's just
Yeah.
like, it's
Well,
like,
it's an adrenaline. Like, you have a surge of adrenaline just take over your body, and after
What did-
that, it just has its
What did the guy
effects,
say
you know?
afterwards to you guys?
It
Did
was...
he like complain or at all, or was
no, we got the dog back in the house and we just didn't leave the house for days.
Gobi
wow.
Gobi was easy to get because as soon as I call her, she just comes to me, and also Gobi doesn't bite. It was really scary because it's not like, if Julio gets out, it's not like we could be like, oh, a neighbor found him. He's not a friendly dog. He really
Yeah.
is like not okay in the head.
It's hard because when we have friends over, we have to keep in mind that we have this dog. So we have to put Gobi in the kettle, or we have to
In the kettle.
or whatever it's called. The cage.
we're not cooking dogs.
That's a
in
very
kettles.
That's a big Freudian slip, babe.
What's a kettle?
Like a cooking thing.
Like a cooking mechanism.
Oh, not a kettle. In the cage.
Yep.
I tried to do a fancy word for cage, but kettle.
Kennel.
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 Yeah.
What? I'm dumb. Oh, the Slep King is so dumb. But but here's the thing: when you own animals, and this is, I guess this is how Jeffrey Dahmer's father. Jeffrey Dahmer, when he was listen.
Okay.
When he was in trial, his dad visited him at prison every day and sat by him every day and supported his son and walked through this. I feel that with Julio.
I see.
I'm there for my son.
No matter what.
Yeah.
Even though he's got the wild eye.
He's got the wild eye.
He's
for
got the wild
sure.
eye for sure.
But if he gets to know you, like, has he ever been anything but sweet with George or you?
No, sweet with me, not with George.
He just likes to hump George's
no,
leg.
just the one time we were had him in the podcast room when he was still a puppy, and I had to try to hold him so he wouldn't like gnaw on the side of the table and make noise, and he kept on reaching around and biting me, and then Bobby got mad at me for making noise and not like being completely quiet
He stands
myself
by
when
his
the
son.
dog bit
He
me.
stands by
He
his
was
son.
getting bit by Julio,
Doesn't
babe.
matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's my son, baby.
That's his son, George. What
I
can I
know.
say?
Gilbert, we have an unhelpful advice.
Well, I have a question before that, really quick. People have been wondering, do you have any gripes with Rudy this week?
Oh.
Gripes with Rudy.
Well, gripes with Rudy.